Good morning guys, or good evening depending on when you're watching this video. I hope you're having a good day or a good night. Today's video is going to be my first mommy video. As some of you may or may not know, I am a first-time mom. I have an 18-month-old son. That's what the background is today. I'm in his room. I feel like it was good to just change up the scenery a little bit. I was 23 when I got pregnant, 24 when I had him, and I feel like overall my pregnancy was, I guess, pretty blissful, you could say. I was really happy. I was motivated. I didn't have any complications, which I was very grateful for. I know some women don't always have that first-time experience with their first pregnancy. However, I was very happy. I was more spontaneous. I was more extroverted. I had a pretty good pregnancy overall. Although I felt like I was pretty prepared to be a mom, I had his crib, I had his car seat installed, I had clothes ready for him, I had burp cloths, I had swaddles, I had everything I needed to bring home a baby, and I felt like I was physically ready. Like I had all the materials and supplies needed to care for a baby, but I feel like emotionally I wasn't fully prepared as well as I thought I was. That is the whole purpose of today's video. I wanted to share some things with you guys that I came across being a first-time mom. So if it helps you, if it helps your significant other, or if you just like watching these videos so one day when you do have a baby you kind of know what to be prepared for, that's okay too. However, I just wanted to share some insight with you guys on some things that I felt like a lot of people didn't talk about. I got the typical talks that people give first-time moms. You aren't going to have any alone time. You're not going to be able to do whatever you want whenever you want now. The baby is going to consume your life. You're not going to be able to shower whenever you feel like it. You're going to be exhausted. You're going to be waking up in the middle of the night. There's going to be diaper changes and blowouts, and just be prepared, be ready. And so all of those things I took into account, and I feel like those are the things I got ready for. I got ready for the blowouts. I got ready for the nasty diapers. I got ready for the throw up. I got ready for breastfeeding, but there was way more to it than just scratching the surface layer of parenthood and especially motherhood. Here I am pregnant, super happy and looking forward to having my baby, and then I had my baby. Things I'm gonna talk about, I don't really have a specific order of things. Everything is just at random. My first piece of advice for all new moms, especially breastfeeding moms, is gonna be this product right here. I did not realize how important Nipple Cream was gonna be to me. Nipple Cream was my best friend breastfeeding. I was very fortunate enough that I never experienced cracked nipples, bleeding nipples. I did have a period of time where one nipple was very sensitive because I think it started drying out because I thought when my son was 3 months old that I could lay off the nipple cream. He was used to breastfeeding, my body was used to breastfeeding, so I don't need nipple cream anymore. And boy was I wrong. For a full 24 hours, I had to pump on one side and not feed him because it was so painful. So I want to let all moms know, use Nipple Cream. It doesn't specifically have to be this brand, but Nipple Cream is going to be your best friend. After every single feeding, even when you think you don't need it, do it. Because your body isn't used to it, and your body isn't used to constantly just being gnawed at so many times a day. And for me, my son was a big eater. Let me tell you, that boy loved to eat, so I was constantly having to breastfeed him. If you think about it, my nipple was getting a lot of saliva, it would get dried out. So what I would do is do it after every single feeding just to keep it, like, I guess, moisturized. You know, when you take a shower and you get out, you put lotion all over your body because it dries out. So treat your nipple the same way. Keep it moisturized, and you can prevent those cracked nipples and bleeding and dryness and sensitivity. As you get further along in your breastfeeding journey, you'll know when you can cut back. I got to a point when he was around 5-6 months when I started introducing food that I would do it every night, once a night. You know your body best. However, like I said, my most important tip for moms is invest in your nipple cream. The next thing I want to tell you guys is ask for help. And I know that may be really hard for some people. It was really hard for me. I hated asking for help. In my mind, I thought, it's my kid. I decided to have a baby. I decided to bring him into the world, so he's my responsibility. No one needs to change his diaper. No one needs to take care of him but me and his father. And I have to say, I was very wrong with it. I found myself getting really exhausted. I found myself ultimately getting lonely too. And that's how my postpartum depression kind of kicked in. I was fortunate enough that I only had a mild dose of postpartum depression. I only felt lonely when Jacob went back to work, and he went back to work after 2 weeks, but he was also in school at that time. So after a week, he went back to school. So we only had a full week of the three of us. And then after that, it was mostly me just being at home by myself with him. To prevent yourself from feeling lonely, and even if you do find yourself getting into that postpartum depression, having someone help you out around the house just so you can take a mental break from the baby, or just take a shower to yourself, or to just vent to somebody, I feel like is the best thing. And kind of going along with that, for all moms and dads, definitely find a friend. I know I didn't find another mom friend until Asher was already almost 1.5 years, and I've got to say that has helped me so much. I was also very lucky to have my mom for the first couple months before COVID hit, and she was coming over. For me, I find myself going crazy when my house is dirty. So when I'm sitting on the couch with the baby and I just look around and my house is dirty, it makes me very anxious. So it was really nice that I had her to come over and take him for a little while so I could just clean my house. At the end of the day, or after she would leave, I would be able to sit down on the couch and enjoy breastfeeding or enjoy just playing with my baby, so I didn't have to worry about, oh my god, the house needs to be cleaned, or the dishes, or this is out of sorts, or whatever. So to keep my mental sanity in check, having her here to take him so I could do things that I needed to get done was extremely helpful. So do not be afraid to ask for help. Find someone that is reliable. Kind of piggyback off that last one of asking people for help. Make time for yourself. If someone is offering to come over and help you with the baby, like I said, take it, but then take it and make time for yourself. If it's getting your nails done, if it's going to try a new coffee spot, if it's just going for a walk or a drive, anything. Having even an hour away from him, I would get time to miss him. I would get time to get like a mental recharge. I definitely encourage any parent to take a break from your child. It helps the child, it helps you. The next thing I want to bring up is how important and crucial it is to be open and honest with your partner. As I said before, when Jacob went back to work, I found myself slipping into a bit of postpartum depression. I found myself a little lonely, and I was scared to tell him. I thought I was being selfish because he was the one that had to leave me and Asher. He was the one that had to go to work. He was the one that had to spend the whole day away from us. I got to sit around the house. I got to sit here and enjoy the baby. I had to get out of my head and just be honest with him, because yes, he got to leave the house and miss the baby, and I was sitting here all day, but being with a baby all day and a newborn baby all day alone, it is really hard. And some people may not understand that, but it is. And so it took me a while to be open and honest with Jacob about that, and just telling him, hey, you know, I've been with the baby all day. Can I please get a break? No, you just got home from school and work and you're really exhausted, but can you please take him? Because I want to do something for myself. I want to cook dinner today. I don't want to depend on you cooking dinner. Like, I actually enjoy cooking. Opening up to him, he was able to help me out. I can't stress this enough, that your partner does not know what you need unless you tell them. I was just having a lot of internal battles and difficulties, and he would have no way to navigate or help me if I had not let him know. So please be open with your partner, and if you don't have a partner around, please find a support group or find a reliable family member or friend to just confide in, because I promise you it helps so much. Just being vulnerable enough to open up to somebody can give them so much insight on how to help you. Someone can't help you unless you talk to them. Another thing I wish I had known before having a baby was being strong enough and feeling confident enough that it's okay to turn down visitors. And I know that may sound a little rude. You know, you just had a baby, it's a new family member, people want to come see the baby, shower the baby, and things like that. And for me, I was very grateful that people did come visit us in the hospital. Me and Jake both have a pretty big family. Being a first-time mom, I was trying to figure out how to breastfeed. I was trying to figure out his cries. I was trying to figure out this person. I was trying to get to know him, and he was trying to get to know me. And same with my husband. With all that going on and then adding visitors on top of it, it was very overwhelming for me. I am a very self-conscious person, so trying to breastfeed in front of Jacob's grandfather was kind of awkward, or trying to figure out why my baby's crying when someone else is holding him. I don't know if he's hungry. I don't know if it's because he needs a diaper change. I have no idea why. And I feel like when your baby starts crying, everyone looks at the mom to be like, what's wrong? So when my baby is 12 hours old and I have visitors holding him, wondering why he's crying, I kind of wanted to cry because I'm just looking at these people and I'm like, I don't know why he's crying. I barely know who he is. So definitely don't be afraid to turn down visitors, or just let visitors know like, hey, right now is not the time, and that's okay. Something I found hard was that whole phrase of when the baby sleeps, you sleep. And I absolutely agree with that statement, but it was really hard to sleep when visitors were over. So the baby would fall asleep and that'd be fine, but visitors would still be there, and I felt the obligation to entertain our visitors, to talk to them about my labor, talk to them about the delivery, talk to them about how being a new mom is going. Don't be afraid to let your visitors know, hey, I'm really exhausted, I'm gonna go catch a nap. I'm sure everyone will understand. The next thing I want to bring up, and I feel like this is a big one, especially for new moms, because I saw it a lot on social media and I kind of obsessed with it before I even had him. And it's, do not feel the need to bounce back. I would see a lot of fitness models or a lot of celebrities a month after having a baby, and they're posting on social media their experience. And although for them that's their experience, my bounce back experience after giving birth was not even close to how those women looked after they had given birth. I think I was more so hard on myself too, because women who didn't even have children were reposting a bunch of these pictures of women and how they looked after having a baby, and they would idolize those. They would say, these are goals. This is what I hope to look like after having a baby. So internally I thought, okay, after I have a baby, this is exactly what I need to look like after 1 month, because this is what women are saying that you're supposed to look like. This is what women are idolizing, so therefore that's what I need to look like. So when I was a month postpartum and I didn't look like that, I got really hard on myself and I got really sad, and I just did not have confidence. Do not feel the need to conform to what people say you're supposed to look like. You do what's best for you. You work out when you feel like it. You eat the way you want, and you do what's best for you. Another thing that I learned that I wish I had known before having a baby is, do not let anybody make you feel guilty or make you second guess your parenting decisions. Really quickly, I want to share a story with you guys that happened when Asher was 2 days old. Some moms and dads, you may know, when your baby is 2 days old, they have to go for a 2-day checkup, like check their birth weight and how they're developing and all those little random checkup things that babies have at 2 days old. So we went to the 2-day checkup, and the doctor immediately asked me why he had a pacifier. And I was stunned that she even asked me that question, and immediately she starts telling me about nipple confusion. She tells me that he shouldn't be having a pacifier. He should at least be waiting until 3 months old. And immediately I started second guessing every decision I made as his mom. I was thinking, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm gonna mess him up. He's not gonna be breastfeeding correctly. Something's gonna be wrong. And that was far from the truth. Asher never had nipple confusion. That boy loved drinking milk, and for me, the pacifier was a relief, and it helped me. Honestly, when he would try to fall asleep, he would fall asleep breastfeeding, which I was also told that is not the correct way to put your baby to sleep. However, that's what worked for us. He would fall asleep breastfeeding, and immediately when I would pull away to, get dressed and put myself away, he would wake up and want to start gnawing again. So that's when I would use the pacifier, and then he would fall asleep. You know your baby better than anyone else. If you do need advice, there are outlets for advice, but when you have made a parenting decision, don't let anyone else alter your decision. Another thing I wish someone had told me is that postpartum depression is absolutely normal. I was under the impression that postpartum depression was bad. I never knew that postpartum depression was as normal as it was. As I said previously, I had a mild form of postpartum depression. I just felt really lonely. I felt like I was going through this on my own. I felt like no one could relate to me. I felt like no one really understood me and what I was going through. And so I feel like that was the extent of my postpartum depression. And so I felt really guilty about it. I felt like if I was experiencing it, then it was bad or it was going to be frowned upon. And that is not the case at all. It's extremely normal and it's extremely okay. It's even okay if your postpartum depression was worse than mine. Don't feel like postpartum depression is a bad thing or it's a negative thing. It's absolutely 100% normal, and I just want every single woman to know that it is okay. Another thing that I want you guys to know is create a routine. Create a routine that works well for you, that works well for your family, that works well for your household, that works well for your baby. For example, when Asher was a baby and Jacob went back to work and my mom would come over and help, after a while when I was able to start working out again and get more active, my mom would come over in the morning. The moment she would get here, I would go for a run. After my run, I would come home and shower. Usually after the shower, I would feed Asher again. So I would feed him, and as soon as I was done feeding him, I would pass him off to my mom so she could burp him or change him or whatever. Then I would start breakfast. I was able to clean up all the dishes and the kitchen and get everything back into order. And as soon as I was done with that, he was ready to eat again. And then after he ate again, it would be his nap time. Every day varied, but just having that little routine of getting in a run and a shower and breakfast in the morning helped me wonders. The second to last thing I want to share with you guys is write things down. And I know that may sound a little weird, but the newborn stage is such a short season. A lot of the times you tend to forget. You're so in the moment of being a parent that you forget. So writing things down, whether it's a journal. I started a journal when Asher was about 6 months old, and I just started writing letters to him. I have a separate notebook that is strictly just letters to him that I plan on giving to him one day. And then I also have like his baby book. All right, guys, last thing I want to share with you guys before we wrap this up is enjoy your baby in the now. I also used to be the type of person that would always say, I cannot wait until I'm 18 and I can move out. I cannot wait until I get married. I cannot wait until I have a baby. I cannot wait until whatever next phase of life it was that I couldn't wait for and I was super excited for. Being a first-time mom, I had a really hard time enjoying the newborn stage, and now I find myself sometimes missing the newborn stage. I miss those hours spent on the couch with him on my chest. I miss me rubbing his head as he would eat. I miss that little baby laugh. And although I miss those things and I cherish those things, I'm trying to change my perception of things and the way I think. Instead of wishing and waiting until I don't have to run after him anymore or until he can understand what I'm saying, I'm just enjoying the pure innocence of him as a little boy right now. It'll all happen in due time, and if you spend all your days desperate to be in the next phase of life, you're gonna miss out on what's happening now. And I feel like that is the biggest piece of advice I wish somebody would have told me before having my baby. Alright guys, that's going to be all the advice and little things that I have for you guys today. If you're an expectant parent and this helped you out, I'm happy that it helped you out. If you're a new mom and you picked up something from this video, or even if you just like watching these videos, I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!